Is with us in Dubai. Bumble, very good evening to you. What's your impression of the day then?
Well, England just didn't see that coming. I think winning the toss and batting first on an excellent surface, you'd have thought that it's one of those 300 on the board, but it was wonderful bowling, it really was, and the subtle changes of pace and variety with no spin. I'm sure that's something that you'd have talked back in the studio, that the ball hasn't been spinning. It's not that spitting cobra that you'd expect. Nothing rich much from the quick bowlers and no swing, so they've been undone by excellent bowling, but naive batting. And when you listen to that interview with Matt Pryor, he said that you've got to play straight. Now, a number of them were playing across the line. We've seen the sweeps, which I think, my own view, you know what I'm like with sweeps? It's suicide with DRS. If you've got DRS and you miss it, you're out.
Well, it's something which you've made that point many a time over the last few years, and we've seen others of our colleagues make similar points. Is it not an individual thing? Is it not an individual choice? If you're, say, for instance, Owen Morgan, you say, where am I going to get runs? The sweep shot is one of his shots.
Absolutely, and if you're good at it, if it's something that you're comfortable and you practice, but I see it too often. I know that I've got to be in my bonnet, and I look at DRS. You've got to be able to play and play it effectively and to hit the ball, because if you miss it and you're in the line of the stumps, it's out. We see it so many times. Bowlers, and particularly spin bowlers, enjoy DRS if people play across the line. Now, the other thing about this, you can say, and we would say, in theory, if the ball's spinning, you can play across the line and play the sweep, get out of jail. It's not spun. I don't think there's a ball spun at all today. Pryor said it in his interview. This is a pitch where you've got to play straight. England, we could call it ring rusty or whatever, but they're behind in the day, but there's a long way to go in this test match and in this series.
All right, now, Bumble, the stock delivery from Saeed Ajmal, the off-break, we know he bowls the teesra a lot, and this is the skill, sorry, this is the skill to be able to bowl that teesra in the right place. The teesra wasn't seen much today. We saw a handful of examples. What have you made of this new delivery? What have you made of this teesra?
Well, I've dismissed it completely. I think it's utter nonsense, personally. He's got an off-spinner and he's got a teesra. And the teesra is so effective because he's accurate with it. And you can tell, again, listening to the interviews, listen to the players, that they're a little bit uncertain, watching the wrist, which way is it going. And it's difficult at times, but there are so many little triggers that you would understand, and everybody would understand that's played spin at the high level. You can watch the rotation of the seam as well. There are lots of little triggers that you're looking for. But England clearly are having a problem with Ajmal, and as Pryor said, we've got to find out a solution.
Yeah, one little question about this teesra, though. We've looked at it here in the studio. I know there weren't many examples. Do you think it's still within what you might call the constraints of actions, what's required of an action? Because it did look a little interesting. It's a new delivery. It needs the odd contortion. Do you think it's right?
Well, it didn't look too much different than anything else that goes down. For me, it just looks exactly the same. And I'm fine with it. I'm absolutely fine. This lad, for me, is within the regulations of the game. The teesra, I think, is a complete and utter con. If he bowls an off-spinner, that's fine. That goes that way. If he bowls a teesra, that goes that way. Which other way is there? There isn't another way. It's either going that way or that way.
Yeah, and the trick is to work out which way it's going.
Yeah, it is. It's either going that way or that way. You might say it could go straight on as well,
right.
But cracky, it's elite cricket, this. They should know which way it's going.
Right, Bumble, another question which involves which way is things, or are things going to go. Still a long way to go in this test match. From the interview with Ajmal himself, who's suggesting this pitch could be very flat for the next 4 days. So that at least gives England encouragement about when they come to bat next. But in the meantime, of course, they've got to try and take some wickets.
Yeah, tomorrow's a massive day for the quicker bowlers and Graham Swan. I thought that Pakistan played thoroughly well this evening. They were very calm. The captain is calm out in the field, but they've got the business of batting, and they've been a little bit flimsy in recent times, but they've got a will about them. I've watched them in practice and they look a different team completely. So for England, not out of this by any stretch. There's a long way to go in this test match, and we've all seen the fighting qualities of England, but they would accept that they've got to play much better in the days to come in this test match and in this series.
Indeed, Bumble, many thanks for that. We'll let you go. End of a long day for David Lloyd in Dubai. We're still going here in London. Let's just look ahead briefly then to tomorrow, because there weren't too many signs there in that final session of play, those last 15 overs or so, that England were going to break through in a hurry.